happen.
I'm looking at this camera, right?
Yeah. You're on.
I know that was supposed to be the joke. What's going on, guys? First off, Happy New Year. It's been since last year that we spoke with y'all.
Yep.
It's been like 4 weeks now, something like that?
Yes, it's been a minute, actually. For me, it's been, 3 months?
Yeah, it's been, well, you've also had a little bit hectic with work. So
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who may be here for the first time, welcome to what we call the 3D Leadership Podcast.
Amen.
Our whole focus is bringing you biblical truths, but also the practical application that goes with them. So not just telling you what to do, but let's find ways to apply it today. So for those of you who maybe aren't recognizing our faces, my name is Dennis. This is one of my co-hosts, Dozy. The other co-host, Danny, is being safe out and about right now as it's snowing where we are.
Makes you wonder what we're doing here.
Yeah, I don't know where you're to a degree, wondering why are we doing this right now.
Yeah.
But anywho, we've got an amazing team that's either traveling or taking care of family right now, so we wanted to make sure we came in to at least give y'all hopefully something of value. But just a couple of things for housekeeping. If you don't know where we're located, we're always live streaming out of Mom Christian Gifts in the Crabtree Mall for the last, coming up on 3 years in April, which is crazy to think
I know.
about.
It's crazy.
But we're always live streaming out of the store. We've also got a really new, exciting opportunity with our community groups or small groups, leadership study groups, however you want to call them. Just a chance for people to connect during the week and ultimately discuss through leadership principles in the Word. That's hosted by our director of groups, Spencer. So if you want to get in touch with him or even just get more plugged into what's happening within our leadership community, shoot him an email. It's his name, Spencer at 3leadershipconsulting.com. He'll get in touch with you. He'll help you get connected wherever. I believe he's hosting 2 on Fridays right now, which is awesome. But outside of that, we've got some school partnerships coming up this year that are going to be really fun. We're still finalizing details on that, but we'll keep you guys updated as that comes up. But really the whole focus for today is we want to make sure that we really just want to have a conversation. Usually we have topics planned out. We have a whole talk planned out. Typically never goes according to plan. And in the end, I told our team, we have no plan for this one. Let's just come casual, come cozy. It's cold outside. It might be snowing later. Let's just have a good time here, talk about what's been happening in life and what God's been teaching us. So hopefully it brings you some value. But yeah, you've been AWOL now for 2 or 3 months with this family stuff, with work. So you can get us rolling here with what you've been learning at the feet of Jesus.
Well, first of all, happy 2026. Happy 2026. 2025
it's only been like 4 weeks and it feels like a year.
Yeah, 2025 was a jump in my life. So at March 2025, we had our daughter.
That's right.
Yeah, and so that was great. She's amazing up to this point, and she will continue to be amazing, God willing. But a couple months ago, we found out that we're having twins.
Hey, so
my wife is pregnant again. So I think it's funny because in the beginning of 2025, Bailey was pregnant, but at the time we had no children. Now we're plotting for 3. So our family just grew. Yeah,
we'll send some specific anointing.
yeah. My family just grew.
Lose her mind right away.
It's crazy, and so it's been really blessed. We've been just navigating what it's like for my wife to be pregnant, us dealing with a child who's continuing to grow each and every day, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been a very blessed and very blessed and rewarding season, but it's also been a very tough, and there's been some peaks and valleys as well.
So is it worth saying with her being pregnant that where 2 or 3 or more are gathered there, he is in the midst of I don't know if that was like too much of a play on words, but
no, it's it works though. No, it does work. That's funny. No, but I will say that one thing that has been very beneficial throughout this time is that it's brought me and Bailey very close together. I think we've gotten more comfortable in relying on each other and relying on the Lord throughout these processes, and that's been very fruitful. But I will say in my personal life, it has been, this has been a very difficult season sometimes because I don't feel like, okay, let me put it this way. When God puts you through different seasons, right? What I'm finding is that a lot of times your weaknesses start to become very apparent through those seasons. And that's what God's trying to iron out in you. Like for me, what was difficult was I've always been the type of person that finds honor in being able to overcome, right? Being able to do the most, to be there, do everything. That's been my. I find value in that, even especially if I'm doing it for the Lord, right? I do enjoy that. I enjoy waking up early, taking care of our daughter if she's crying, sleeping while Bailey's asleep. I enjoy coming back home, being able to do you know what I'm saying? It was so crazy. Recently, a couple months ago, I had this pain in my hand, and it would not go away. It was killing me. I didn't know what it was. At first I thought it was carpal tunnel because of what I do in my work, but like no matter what they did, I went to so many urgent cares. They couldn't figure out what the issue was, and I was getting so frustrated. I wake up, find my hand. I had to have a wrist brace. Couldn't do all the things I wanted to do. Sleeping was hard. Carrying her was hard, and it was like it was because of the pain, because of like what was going on and everything. It was like I wasn't focused on him, on talking with him about hey what I need to do. I wasn't really focused on talking to my wife because all I've been thinking about is she's got a lot going on. She ain't got time for me right now. And it's just, and these are just the habits that I feel like the Lord's trying to break in me, because when you're going through a season and you're suffering and you're struggling with things, the worst thing you can do is hide it, to not talk about it, to push it down, to accept like, fine, and I'm just gonna power through. Because what the Lord is trying to show me is I need to rely on him. I need to trust in him and trust in the people that he brings to my life. Don't turn away from the hardships. Embrace it, but bring other people into it so that they can lift this burden off you. And allow them to also share this burden with you, because maybe God's trying to do something in their life as well. Eventually, I was able to get an orthopedics doctor. Apparently all I needed was a steroid shot, which I thought was ironic. I got a steroid shot in my hand, has been great since then. Ironically, which I found this to be a badge of honor, the reason why I had this issue was because they said normally it happens with women who just have a baby because you're picking up the child all the time. So basically he said like the doctor told me that like because of how I was carrying her up, like the repetitive motion caused a lot of arthritis in my hand. And I was like, okay, so you're telling me that because I carry my daughter all the time, that's what caused the power in my hand? And he said normally it happens with the mothers, but this time it happened with the father. I said, say less. I'm there.
Definitely a badge of honor right there.
It was to me, that's a badge of honor. I'm carrying that one. It's like no one can tell me nothing. I'm there. Yeah. I'm there with my daughter, but
I actually got injured doing it.
Exactly, so I'm definitely there. Exactly. So, but at the end of the day, man, I would say that the beauty of the season that I've been going through is that one, I'm learning to trust God more. I'm learning that he, even when I try to shift away from him and not try to talk with him about these things, that he's still chasing after me and still corrects me. And two, which is just as far, is that I trust the people he put in my life. I trust the wife he's given me, because she has been the person that, to quite honestly, whenever I'm in my own head or my head's in the weeds or anything like that, and I'm struggling with just trusting him, or struggling with finding happiness in the moment, or struggling with finding peace in the moment, she's always been there just to be like, hey, you're okay. Let me lift you up in this season. Let me let you know how good of a father you are, how good of a husband you are. Let me let you know the things that we can do better together. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the beauty of it. She's always been a person that's like, no, this is not just you. Like, we can do this together. And yeah. I think that's how God wants it to be. And I think I've been blessed in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I think one of the biggest things that it's easy for, it's what society basically models this, but it's this idea of every time something is wrong, you always find something external to blame versus, ironically, whenever you come together and share blame or share burdens, it's like, okay, you end up feeling more encouraged, taking accountability for the responsibility. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I'm not alone in this. Someone else feels the same way. We all feel the exact same way. Let's find a way to move forward together. Mm-hmm. And it's but the problem is it's not a mindset that's taught. Like, what's taught is you always want to present yourself as the best, making the least mistakes to sound the most trustworthy.
Yes.
Yet, ironically, it's never the ones that make the least mistakes that we trust. It's the one that's most transparent about their mistakes.
Yes.
So it's almost like this strange mind game of, we're gonna advocate those who make the least amount of mistakes we trust the most, when by natural tendency, those who share their most about the mistakes are the ones we end up trusting the most.
Well, and that's the thing. It's crazy because there's a lot of people who can put on the mask of living earnestly or living well. Like there's a lot of people who, okay, like say if we're talking about ministry, a lot of people who can look the part of being a Christian or this type of guy. There's a lot of people who can go through the process of what it looks like to do church, what it looks like to do a job, what it looks like to do everything. Like you don't know exactly what's going on internally in them. Like what I mean is that like just because somebody looks the part doesn't mean their life is something that you should even mimic or symbolize, because of you don't know what baggage or what's going on in their hearts truly. Only God knows that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I think that as one of the things that's an application thing is we need to be okay with sharing your mistakes. Like be not even okay with it. You should look forward to sharing your mistakes with other people, because when you share those mistakes, when you share those burdens, they lose power. It loses all its power, because what you're gonna find is when you share those with others, one, you'll not be surprised, but you should anticipate that everybody else will not look at you differently because of that. No one will look at you differently. They will actually look at you much more lovingly and understanding. And two, you'll be surprised about how much others are also holding on to different burdens and stuff like that, and how much it's easier to be with somebody who you know is not necessarily like not just like flawed, but also attempting to be better in whatever that is. Like if you looked at like how we started this thing, right, and we looked at the mistakes we made prior to this point, right.
Woo!
And
I don't think we have enough time today to go through everything.
Exactly. Like if we talk about the mistakes there was a situation where we had a guy who was, I forgot the name, I forgot his story, but what I remembered about it was like I loved what he was talking about. I loved the conversation we were having, and then to find out that the microphone wasn't working as well, and so it was really hard to hear. That like you understand like how mad I was. I was like, no
I'm right there with
way.
You. Yeah, I actually remember that too.
But if you look at it, it's like if we looked at that and just said, you know what, because we screwed this up, bro, how are we gonna, like, this is not working. Like, what are we doing here? Every time we come in here, we don't have the microphones, we don't know. Like, we were just trying to set up like, if we looked at our weaknesses, looked at our lack of preparation, looked at our things that we weren't doing as well, and we just was like, you know what, it's not perfect, so therefore it's useless, which is not the case.
No, I mean, and it's just proof, because I mean, like I have told y'all the amount of I'll say it like this: there's a difference between you flaunting your success and others branching from your success. Like we had nothing to showboat we still have nothing to showboat really, but it's like you can clearly tell now if you come into the store, okay, we look a tad more professional than we did in the very beginning.
Just a tad.
But the thing is, we've had a few guests on here in the past where, since they've been a part of the show, podcast, whatever you want to call this thing, they've launched their own, and they've established their own extension of what we're doing in a different market or in a different area.
Yeah.
It's proof to say this has nothing to do with how good we are. Has everything to do with sometimes there are people that need your courage to latch onto so they can get started.
Exactly.
In other words, because I've kind of worded that slightly strange, in order for other people to step out into their faith walk, oftentimes God connects your obedience with theirs. So when you're willing to be obedient, somebody else sees what you're doing, and they have the courage to be obedient too. Has nothing to do with how nice something looks like. I would say the nicest thing we have, aside from a 6-star production head named Sterling, is our banner. Like the nicest thing, like the dopest thing we have, besides saying he is part of our team, is we have this banner. And yes, the content can be helpful. Yes, what can be shared, the events that we've done is cool. But what's more cool is when we get to hear the testimonies of, hey, seeing you guys start with a broken tripod and like just a couple microphones blasting through a store gave me the courage to get my own equipment and launch my own. I've had that on my mind for years. Like, dope. Like, sweet. I'm glad that our amateur beginning was encouraging for you.
Yeah, no, I think the word that popped into my head about what you were doing was the word doing. I think that's the beauty of, I think that's what this year 2026 I want to be a real foundation. I don't want to take Nike's slogan, just do it. But I think that that's the main takeaway that I want for people to really understand. It's like, forget the fears, forget the mindset of trying to be perfect at it, forget the drawbacks, forget all the things. Like, what is it that God has it on your mind to do? Yeah. What is it that you really want to do? And just go do it.
Yeah, just flip and do it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what that means, honestly, it does not mean that it's going to go exactly the way you think it's going to go. So never ever look at something based off the results of what you believe the potential is, because I can guarantee you.
We all three of us did that. We're like, this isn't working.
Exactly. Like this. Listen to me. When I tell you that, if you look at the results of what you think, never it works. Because I can tell you, I can give you plenty of stories, all of them probably in the Bible. Yeah. All of them are in the Bible about people doing things that they had no idea of what the results of those actions would be. But I think the important thing is, if you want to be part of God's story, and if you want to be part of His mission, and you want to see true success in your life, doing trusting God is the first part, and praying God, obviously knowing what to do is the first part. But then that next part, that action, that application, is the next step. And I think that where a lot of people are finding the hardship is finding that mindset of, oh, I got to be perfect to do this, or I've got to have this plan set out to do it, where in actual fact, just doing it and learning what to do is part of the beauty process as well.
Yeah.
But one of the things, though, that I've also find that people struggle with is, let me put it this way. I would not be here if it wasn't for you and Daniel, right? Because you guys are the ones, initially, when this whole thing started, you were the one who brought me in when I moved back to North Carolina. I think what also is burdensome to some people is finding it hard to share your ideas with people that you actually trust, and having them also involved in that as well. Mm-hmm. Whether it's praying, whether it's sowing a seed, whether it's being a part of it, giving a good word, or even being fully invested in it. Most people don't like to talk to others about what God has in the heart because they're scared. They don't even believe it all the time as well.
Well, and I even challenge that to say it's not even that they don't believe it, it's the fact that they listen more to people's voices than God's.
Exactly.
Like, to me, I definitely agree with your statement of this sounds too way out there, like, God, this can't be the case, but in honesty, like, we live in such a systematized driven culture where you have to check with your peers. And think of this, even peer reviewing in classrooms. Like, there is value in that. Don't get me wrong, hearing someone's perspective is valuable, but peer reviewing basically trains you to listen to anybody else's perspective. Mm-hmm. That's just not healthy. Period. Yeah. Like, if God gives you a specific vision for something, we'll use the podcast for an example. I first got the idea for this thing 6-7 years ago. Mm-hmm. Wasn't able to officially execute on it until the last 3 years. The amount of pastors, the amount of youth leaders, like the amount of people that I would say are spiritually in tune, that told me that wasn't from God. Like, I lost track on my hands.
Really?
I'm like, this is interesting. Okay, so everyone that I thought would be supportive of this is telling me you're going the wrong way. And what really the challenge God gave me was, all right, you have a decision to make. Do you listen to what you believe I told you and walk that out in faith, knowing that you're covered by my grace for what mistakes you make? Or do you listen to the voices around you and potentially live in regret? And if God knows how He made me, He knows I will much rather fall on my face 20 times the same way than live in the regret of what could have been.
Yeah.
And like I am too nervous to regret something. Like, even my wife knows I'll face plant 20 times trying to do different things, as long as I know I gave it an attempt, as long as I made the effort. Mm-hmm. Now, but it's the same story though with like, let me put it this way, because I saw this clip from a pastor a couple of days ago, and I thought this was absolutely spot on. He was talking about this idea of people wearing hats in church. He was wearing a hat while he was preaching. Mm-hmm. Some people have opinions about that, some don't. But here's the thing. It's like, he was given the example of, we're called to be a light and we're called to be a loving community. We're called to be love, to be Christ to others. Mm-hmm. Imagining, he was basically calling out people saying, you will easily judge others for how they publicly present themselves, and yet you are happy to privately hide what you wouldn't want to be judged from. He was basically talking about this idea of even when it comes to stepping out into a calling, you're more fearful of being judged by a person and what they think, when in reality, the person judging you probably is being disobedient in their own way, and you just don't know that yet. They're judging you for you attempting something when they don't even have the courage to try. And like that's the thing that I hope that people change this year. Yeah. Like we're literally in the first I guess we're coming up in the fifth week now, technically. Mm-hmm. But like we're in the first 5-6 weeks of 2026. Yeah. Get out of your head, get out of the way, and just freaking go. Mm-hmm. Like if I was trying to create content that was non-kid friendly, I'd be saying a lot more colorful words right now. Because there's just some people there's just some mindsets that immensely frustrate me. Mm. I totally get the fear of doing this. I didn't want to. Yeah. I didn't want to at all. But I couldn't shake the feeling of I need to try. And the problem is, I know I'd be willing to put 99.9% of my yes faith into the hypothesis that everybody who claims to be a Christian has an idea in their mind of what they would dream of doing one day, what mission or what they feel like they've been called to do. Yeah. But they've listened to voices too long to say, I might have missed my chance. This might not be for me anymore. That's the choice you're making to believe. We simply chose to say, cool, I'm just going to believe God can do something and see what happens. Yeah. And next thing you know, the amount of people that come back to us saying, oh my gosh, this has been incredible. Oh my gosh, this God is moving through you guys so many ways. Yada, the whole Christian needs compliments. Yeah. I'm like, great. When are you starting? Exactly. Like, quit complimenting us for what we're doing. You're in the lineup. We might be in the Air Force, you're in the Navy. What are you doing? Like, we're all part of the same military. Yeah. I was even telling my wife this as I go on work trips. Like, to an extent, there's never been a point in time where I haven't encountered somebody who needs some type of spiritual encouragement. And I even told her, you know what? It's time. It's time anybody who claims to be a believer looks at their life as, what's my role in the military? Yeah. Nowhere. Every aspect in the Bible, God looks at us as an army, as the army. We're part of the military. We're part of the regime. Like, we're a part of that. Mm-hmm. So, either I'm completely misinterpreting Scripture, which I don't think I am in this case, or we're at the point where it's time to step up, especially with where the world is today. It's time to step up with where society is today. Get your armor, like Ephesians, is it what, 6? Ephesians 6 talks about? Mm-hmm. And get ready for battle. Okay. We'll say Ephesians. Yeah, we'll say Ephesians. Yeah. Like Ephesians talks about. Mm-hmm. Pick up your armor, get your sword, get your shield, get your gun, whatever armor you want to use, and go. Yeah. We're all in the same battle. Well, Ephesians 6. I mean, just to even take the military symbolism about that, it's not just that we're in the army. We have orders too. Yeah. Like we have, like it's not just. It's not just say that was an order. Yeah, exactly. It's not just like, oh, we have the tools. Like, we actually have mission too. There's actually wars going on in people's hearts and people's minds, and we as disciples don't get to just sit on the sidelines and do nothing. Yeah, this ain't the reserves, dog. Exactly. Yeah, you don't get to. Not knocking on the military reserve. Exactly. Not at all. You don't get to sit down in there and just do nothing. No, there's different seasons. There's planning seasons. There's active seasons. Yeah. There's seasons You're of on rest. Leave in some exactly. Yeah. The seasons of rest, but in every season, God calls you specifically to do something. Exactly. And considering how
God normally works, even in a different season where you think your main mission is this, there's other things that God is calling you to do as well. Trust me, when the roles and titles that everybody's given, like, okay, like for you, right? You're first and foremost a child of God. That's your main source and soul, everything. But you're also a father. You're also a husband. You're also you wear many different hats. You're also a leader. You're also a follower. You're also, like, you know what I'm saying. There's like a lot of different, like,
instead of jack of all trades, I'm Dennis of many
exactly,
trades.
exactly. And so my point is like, God has assigned a role for each of those titles that you've been given, and it's your job to accept the order that has been given and to roll out that task as God plans it to by His will. I think what happens to a lot of us is because, you know, like, especially in America, life is always moving, right? We're always like going back and forth. We don't really know. We look at one task and one title and forget the others. So for example, I could spend my time being like, okay, I'm going to be this great dad to Eliana, but not doing my role as a husband.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can focus on Bailey, but not thinking my job as a leader in my community, or a brother in my family, a son to my mom and dad. You know, it's just, God gives us all these different titles and gives us different roles and different things to do, and you gotta make sure you're doing all these things. But then, how do I know when I'm supposed to be doing this and when am I supposed to be doing this? And this is why I say the first thing you identify is yourself as a child of God.
Exactly.
And in order to know what you're supposed to do in all those things, you gotta be talking to your Father.
Yeah. You gotta be talking to your chief of command.
Exactly.
Where to do.
And that's an everyday process. That's not that's not a thing where, one of the things that struck me was, it's not just about, I used to just try, I thought like, oh, just driving and listening to the word in my car was enough. God put in my heart like, no, listen, look, for what I have in your season, I need you to be very focused. You need to find a place. This is going to be your place. This is going to be me and you. This is our spot.
Dude, for me, that's my car.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm blasting all kinds of different, like, Christian rock, Christian hip hop, some slow. I'm like, this is where I have my chill time. God talks to me. I write some stuff down.
Exactly, and it's like, it has to be fully focused, especially nowadays when you're not going to have as much time as you used to. Like, when you have kids, when you're going through work, when you're actually doing things that God has offered for you, sometimes you live a very active lifestyle. You're going to need to crave out that time. You're going to make it so.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, when, this is for the married folks, right? When a successful marriage with the husband and wife, you guys are going to realize as you go through life is like, okay, let me tell you, for us, me and Bailey used to just find time. Like, we never, like, before we had kids, we would always just find time to be together.
Yeah.
We would always find time to have intimacy. It was never,
it just happens.
Yeah, it just happens. We don't, it wasn't like anything we had to plan. I was like, oh, you don't go on dates? Like, of course we go on dates. Like, we're just going to find time to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when we have a weekend, we're just going to do it. Or when we have this time, we're just going to do it. When you have kids, it is like, you have got to plan time because because hours turn to days turn to weeks. It's like, and weeks turn to, like, you're not even thinking about, like, oh my goodness, when was the last time we just had our time? We weren't thinking about her, what to do next, and everything like that.
So,
and
I'll show this to the camera just for the heck of it. So if you can pin me up right over here.
And so,
like, this is the colors on my calendar right now.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly.
There's work. There's Kat's work. My personal stuff. Podcast stuff.
Beautiful.
Everything is right here. If it's not on, if it's not on there, I ain't doing it.
And anything about me, and one thing that the Lord showed me is, like, I'm not that disciplined of a person. And
shame on you.
Exactly, right? You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the beauty of the Holy Spirit, because he allows to reveal that to you. I think that what I'm finding is that as life continues on, you've got to plan out part of your life, and part of that is also planning out the time for the Lord as well. This has got to be the most significant part of your life in order for you to be successful. Because if you don't do this, it's like running around with your head cut off. Nothing you're doing is really going to be that effective. It's not going to work the way, you're going to forget the titles that God has put on your heart that He wants you to do. You're not going to be, quite frankly, the person that He's calling you to be. Because how can you claim to be following the captain of the ship if you're not listening to his orders, or you're not even spending time to hear what he has to say, and then have the word to claim that you love him?
Yeah, I mean, and even to add to your point there, it's like think of it from that same perspective. Like people don't just go straight from everyday life into their mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have to go through training. They go through boot camp. Like they have to go through multiple training
Mm-hmm.
to be prepared for the actual mission itself. Mm-hmm. And like there's this whole, I've heard a lot of times people saying, like, I can't wait for. I've heard this in church and business, etc. Like, can't wait for a season of rest. I just need a break. Yada yada yada. Like, the thing that, because I've even talked to God about this myself, wondering like, is it like, how do you navigate this? Mm-hmm. And what the thing he impressed on me was, if I have you in a season where breaks don't seem much, there's obviously a balance there. But the most important thing is you have to become someone different for the season God's bringing you into, mm-hmm. which means that there's going to be changes to routines. There's going to be changes to life. There's going to be changes to timelines. And I was talking to Monica about this the other, I think I mentioned this to Jared like 2 weeks ago, like learning like there's so much going on. I am learning to take the perspective of, if life hasn't slowed down, and in some cases only sped up, and instead of complaining about how busy life is, I am personally going to focus on there has to be a reason for this, otherwise God wouldn't have permitted it. Mm. So if I'm being prepared for a new season, like for example, like if you look at somebody like Elon Musk, just from and obviously he's an anomaly, he's the richest guy in the world, yeah. But from a habitual perspective. Mm. He didn't just run his schedule and run his companies over the course of a year or 2 years, going from somebody with a regular 9-to-5 life to now running 6 companies actively with a schedule. Like there was times where he was up multiple times a night. He was up multiple nights a night. Like his body was going through transitions to prepare him for the responsibility that was to come. Mm-hmm. And the thing that God's been walking me through in the same manner is, if you say yes to a mission, God's going to take you through times of preparation to align you with how you need to be and who you need to be for the time of that calling. Mm-hmm. So, like for example, with rest, there's times right now where I often don't get as much rest as I'd prefer to get some days. That's just life. Mm-hmm. Especially if Kat and I want to eventually expand in our families and I want to run multiple businesses in the future. Like, there's not going to be a such thing as, I'm just going to take this day to just chill. I'm just going to take this hour to just chill. Like, no, I'm desiring different outcomes, which means I'm also responsible to be accountable to the responsibility that comes with it. Mm-hmm. So if we're looking at this perspective from, I want to be able to step into the next season God has for me, great. Expect there to be changes in habits. Expect there to be changes in daily routines. Yeah. Anticipate you walking through some mentally difficult and spiritually difficult experiences, because who you are now is not who you're supposed to be after this trimming season. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd already be there.
Exactly.
Like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I'll use David instead. He's a better example. David was wondering why he had to fight off all the predators when he was with the sheep. Mm-hmm. I mean, to some degree, it's natural. It's natural. Okay, yeah, he was taking care of the sheep. Sure. But what no one anticipated is the exact same action he had to take to throwing the rocks and slinging the rocks at those predators is the exact same action he took to take down Goliath. Yeah. When everybody else was trying what was traditional to take Goliath down, the non-traditional method is what David did, and Goliath fell first try. Mm-hmm. What's the lesson there? The lesson is not every experience is going to be the identical training, but there's going to be a skill you learn in that season that is applicable.
Exactly.
The season might not look the exact same, but the skill is going to be translatable. So if you're in a tough season, what skill, what new habit, what is it about that season that's changing you and giving you a new perspective that you can take into the new one? You learn to pay attention to that, you're unstoppable.
Exactly. But not only that, to even through that trimming season, the word that I feel like people have that I feel like struggle with is, listen, even through this trimming season, the season of not feeling enough, not feeling right, it's like, don't give up. Like it's you're right there. Like the fact that you're going through what you're going through is signs that you're going through a trimming season. This is good.
Yeah.
This, like, I think that's the issue. It's like, this is good. One, you ever try, let me put it this way, have you ever tried to play a new sport? Like a sport that you've never tried before?
Oh yeah.
Like what?
I epically failed at basketball.
Oh,
I made I technically had the highest shot percentage my season.
that's funny.
I took 2 shots, one 3-pointer and a 2-pointer. I made both. And that's the only shots I took the entire season. So I had a technical 100% shot season with the
so
entire
funny.
17-game season.
That is so funny. Okay, mine is golf. I cannot hit that
We just
ball.
have to figure out how to get you on the golf.
Yeah, I cannot hit that ball. I don't know what it is. I don't know how you guys do it. I'm not. It's crazy. Like, I literally
Side plug,
think
I do
about
coach
it.
if you need coach.
Yeah, I do. It's, to me, it's crazy. It's like, I don't know how people do this. It's so frustrating. Like, it's like I don't like how. Like, I don't. But anyways, my point is, whenever you start a new sport, whatever it is, or anything new,
Yeah.
it's going to be difficult.
You're supposed to suck.
You're supposed, like, that is the beauty of a disciple of Christ. Like, hey, listen, you just started this thing. You are supposed to suck. Suck. You're supposed to suck. You're supposed to be
Don't
bad
say
at it.
sucked, but
Yeah,
just-
exactly. You're supposed to be bad at it. One of the signs that tells you that you are saved by grace and saved by the Holy Spirit is like God's children are the one who suck over and over again and continue to get back up and continue to
Yeah.
repent and continue to keep going. Like, that is a sign of a follower of his. It's not the, oh, I got it, the eureka moment, and you just continue to keep going and everything else is smooth. Like, no. Paul, to his dying breath, was like, bro, and it's funny how his letters are analyzed, because it's like, as you continue to keep going through his life, he's like, man, I don't have this figured out. Like, I'm still finding so much more about how bad I really am. It's remarkable to me to see that, because it's like, this is Paul, the person who's given
He's
almost
like
of the New
our
Testament.
chief of staff.
Yeah, chief of staff, like the person who's given us the New, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, nope,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even tell you that I have this fully figured out. And I promise you, like, God can tell him everything about how he's doing stuff like that. I promise you, every figure in the Bible had no idea that their stories would be written in this way, because I can guarantee you, if they knew the result of their actions, they would have acted differently. They would have acted like if you. But that's the story of life in general. I think that what we have to look back on is, regardless of where you're at, you weren't where you were a year ago. You weren't where you were a year ago, and there's a reason for that.
Well, and like, even to that, like, it's funny you mentioned that too, because this is something that I actually think I talked with Monica about this on our last recording before the new year, and she even challenged me to say, like, there's so much teaching around, like, new year, new you, and whatnot, like where it's like, yes, like, keep pushing through the trial, keep pushing through. But she said something that really kind of rung a bell. Like, it really made me rethink my entire perspective on growth. She said, maybe this is more like a paraphrase of the mindset, but it was basically this idea of, when you start thinking about you're not good enough, you are not enough, et cetera, that's also 100% true.
Yeah,
You
aren't.
God's using the season of trimming to show you yourself aren't good enough. You were never meant. You were initially intended to be good enough. Then sin happened, and now you aren't. That's why I sent my son. So in those seasons, you can, like, it's almost like this contradiction of, my flesh by nature, Dennis, is not enough. But Dennis, in Christ, I am enough. So it's both in those situations are true. But when we do say the words, I am not enough, it's not an identity of, I am not enough. It's, I wasn't meant to be enough. Christ makes me enough. So it's almost like this, almost an encouraging reminder from a negative mindset, because you're reminded, you know what? By my own flesh, I was never going to be enough for this.
Yeah.
That's why I need God. And in those moments when you walk through those trimming seasons, yes, the enemy is trying to tell you aren't enough, but it's also God just revealing to you, hey, you aren't. Like, you need me. Like, with me, anything is possible. as Scripture says. But by yourself, if you feel like you're not enough, that's totally fine, because you as an individual aren't.
Yeah.
That's why you have to lean on Christ. And the moment she shared that mindset with me, like, it completely reframed how I even approach my negative self-talk. Because negative self-talk is in reality just me realizing in my own flesh what's actually true and why I need God so much.
Exactly.
So is it really negative self-talk, or is it just reality self-talk? I'm just realizing in my own self, I can't do it on my own. Like, God, this has to come from you, because I wasn't built for this. I wasn't built for this podcast. I wasn't built as a human to run a godly, successful family. That's why I need God for it. So if we're in seasons of life where we feel like we're totally unqualified, we're totally unprepared for this, and we don't feel like we will be able to survive, great. Because that's God showing you by yourself you aren't. But that you can also know with me, I've already qualified you for it. So keep your focus on me, and I'll show you exactly how to move through this.
Exactly.
And that's why focus, as you mentioned in every minute so far, our focus has to first be my identity as a child of God.
Yeah.
God is my dad. He will guide me. He will direct me. And it's like, yes, it's a new year, but are you going to choose the mindset? Is it the same you, or is it a new you? Like, is it going to be the same mindset of I'm going to let life dictate for me what I can do this year, or am I going to choose the mindset of I'm going to listen to the voice that formed me in my mother's womb? I'm going to listen to the voice that I know is the Alpha and the Omega, and if He told me something, I can trust He will move me through.
Exactly.
Each growth experience, as I've started to learn last year, it's not about the outcome of having made it out. It's about the momentary learning of God shows you more of who you by nature are and why you need Him so much.
Exactly. And I don't think it's ever about being out, because I think that the whole life process.
Yeah, there really isn't a way out.
There's no way out.
The
There's
out is heaven.
Exactly. There's no out really. It's like you're continually just living, growing with Him as He continually just shows you parts of yourself, parts of the world, parts of others, and shows you what your role is in each of those actions. But I think that I do find it interesting. I would love to know like what everybody's spiritual life is like normally, because what I think is the issue that I see sometimes is like we know, like one of the things about the Western world, right, is that we're very head knowledge, right? Like we read a lot, we know a lot, even from when we're younger, we learn a lot, right?
We're basically knowledge.
We're supposed to be very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
I don't know, we can give or take whether or not that's really smart or not, but we quote unquote are very knowledgeable. One of the distractions that I feel like seeing is like there's a lot of knowledge but not a lot of faith, right? There's a lot of we know what fear is, but we don't know how to overcome it, and it's very interesting to me. It's like we understand all these aspects about God. We can recite verses, we can do these things, but just following a command that doesn't require anything except obedience, it's something that we have to second guess and be like, well, does it make sense? Does it fit? Does it like the same? It's crazy enough that we said the same issues that I feel like the Pharisees had.
Yeah, same thing.
It's the same thing. It's one of the things that I fear as Christians that we struggle with the most, and why we're hampered in success in our lives is because we don't like the idea of trusting something that we can't see.
100%.
Because in our minds, well, if I can see it, I can believe it, which goes counteractive to what faith is. The whole point of faith is that because you don't know, but you have to trust, right? And the biggest success are the ones who do the work, who are disciplined without any idea of what the outcome could be, but it's just trusting the process in that. I think that's the way that.
I mean, what's the Hebrews 11 definition? It's like faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
Exactly.
Like literally saying you're going to choose to believe something that you have no proof for and no evidence for, but you're still going to choose to believe it anyway.
Yeah, because it's like because what I've learned is like obedience does not take wisdom and knowledge and intelligence.
No, it doesn't.
It does not it really doesn't. It doesn't take any of that. Like the smartest person in the world to me is the person who saw that God was calling him for something and was like, Okay, let me do this.
Bet.
Because for me, that's a smart thing to do. Why would I not listen to the person who created everything? None of this is mine. Let me just be obedient to that maker, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, right. And it's crazy because God's not even asking for like complete. You know what's this was mind-boggling about Christ and about God, right? He's not even asking for your full obedience in the sense of like you must not mess up. Mm-hmm. He's just asking for
perfection.
Yeah, he's not even asking for perfection, like which quite frankly, if someone gave you a job, it would be fair, right? If you gave someone a job to, hey, can you clean this place up, right? How many chances do you have to give this person for them to get it right? Right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, if you're paying for that person,
get it right.
Maybe, like if you had a lot of grace, okay, you messed up this time, I'm gonna give you another chance. I need this place cleaned up. Like I need it like spotless. You know what I'm saying? Exactly what it is. God's like, no. Listen to me. I'm not even telling you to clean this place up by yourself. I'm saying I just need you to come here so I can show you how to clean it up. Yep. And then I'm going to help you literally clean it up. Mm-hmm. I'm going to provide everything for you. I'm even going to provide people here. So you don't even have to clean up the entire place. I just need you to be here because I need you to watch over the people who are actually going to clean it up. Yeah. I just need you to walk in the door. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And even God telling you that is like not something that people, it's just hard to believe sometimes because some people struggle with the mindset of God using them in that regard. And I think, and it's weird because everybody knows, like if you ask someone else about, oh, God's doing this in my life and I'm being obedient this way, and they'll be like, wow, I can see that in you. I can see that God's like, okay, but what about you? Why is it like when it comes to you can't see that in yourself? And I don't say this as a person who's got a faith. It's something that I wrestle with sometimes. It's something that I ask God, like, hey, look, what am I supposed to be doing? Okay, you put it in my heart that I'm supposed to be doing this. Okay, my first question isn't, okay, yes, my first response isn't, yes, Lord, let me go do that. It's, okay, God, but how? Like, I got this, I got these circumstances. You know that. Like, why are you telling me to do this now? Why are you putting this in my heart? This is not, this ain't fair. Like, well, how am I supposed to navigate this, that, and the third? Like, what am I supposed, now I'm supposed to give up stuff? Like, what am I supposed to get? Like, now I got to figure out how this is going to work and how this is going to, and God's like, whoa, listen to me. Mm-hmm. I didn't ask you I didn't tell you for any of that. I just said this. Mm-hmm. It is what you have to do. Why don't you ask me, like you asked me how I'm going to do that, but why don't you just trust that this is going to get done? First, take the step of obedience. Start doing. You'll see how it gets done. Just take the step. You'll see how it gets done. Trust me, you will see it. When you start to do that, you start to develop that strength in trusting Him. I think what's beautiful about faith is, faith, and it's interesting in marriage. Faith is like marriage to me because when you first take that first step in marriage, right? I always tell people like marriage is grown like a seed, right? The more you stay in a Christian marriage, the more you stay together, the stronger your relationship is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Like I know Bailey much more than I knew her last year. Mm-hmm. Like I trust her much more than I trust her last year because of what we've already been through and what we continue to go through. That's what Christ's relationship is supposed to be like. Mm-hmm. It's like when you first initially meet Him and you first initially know Him, it's still very new. And you can, and it's not based on your feelings. Like, let's get that out the way. It ain't based off like this feeling of like, I feel so close and intimate with God. I feel this way. It's like, the guy is like, I hear that, but a couple of years from now, you may not feel that way.
I mean, it's the same issue that we have with relationships nowadays, where most of them are based on feelings. The moment that someone hurts your feelings, it's like, okay, you aren't my friend anymore.
Exactly.
Get over, like, not in a kind manner, get over yourself.
Yeah.
Like you don't have enough. I'll put it this way: you are not important enough to be butthurt about everything.
Exactly.
Like,
especially what God's calling you to do.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said this to, I think I've said this to my wife a while back, and I've done teaching on this too. It's like there's three types of relationships you'll have in your life. There's the lifetime friendships, the seasonal, and the situational. Mm-hmm. Technically, the seasonal and situational can kind of, it's lifetime, seasonal, and circumstantial.
Yeah.
So like There is the circumstance, which is your job, your typical social arenas. You meet people out of convenience. Cool. There's the seasonal ones. Okay, those are the ones that maybe are in the same season of life you are right now. That may be a longer relationship. It may span over a couple of different social arenas, but it's nothing like lifetime related. The lifetime friendships are the ones where you know them for your whole life, and the situational is based on location. The seasonal is based on longer time period. The lifetime is based on long time values and lifetime alignment. But none of them are related. None of them were ever based on or had ever been based on feelings. Like if you have friendships that are based on feeling, you're flipping screwed.
Yeah, because
like the moment that
feelings
something goes wrong,
feelings gonna change.
Yeah, like the moment something goes wrong, you wrote them off. That's why most people nowadays can't hold a relationship. That's why any conversation that's all about positivity and all about encouragement, sure, there's a place for that. But freak, if you're making a mistake, like call the sucker out.
Yeah.
Like the amount of conversations I've had in the last 18 to 24 months where it's being asked about how do you feel about being challenged? How do you feel about being told no? Like, last time I checked, if your toddler messes up, if they break a glass in the house, you don't clap and say good job, it's okay. You tell them, hey, let's find a way to correct this. Yeah. Last time I checked, like when our parents grew up, spanking was a standard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of weapons.
Now you do it at the wrong time, in the wrong place. You're officially abusing your child. You get CPS called on you. Like it's funny to think about, but it's so flippin' stupid.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things now where everything I say it this way. Maybe this is too aggressive. Maybe not. I don't know. To an extent, I also don't care. But we're called to raise the kids that we're raising up are eventually going to be adults. If we don't teach them how to become an adult, they will forever be older kids. Yeah. Like the amount of people that are adult age right now, but are having kid-like personalities, is kind of scary. Because I'm trying to have an adult conversation with somebody at my age, and here I am seeing somebody walk through an area with, I don't know, a costume on, saying they felt like being, I don't know, some random cartoon today. I'm like, okay, like nothing wrong with that, but
oh my gosh.
Like my question is, what has happened to our society that has made giving consequences and having consequences a bad thing? And that's my question. Yeah. Because last time there is no improvement without consequences. Yeah. You logically need it to be able to be realigned. Yeah. So and that's kind of a side tangent, but the whole reason I bring that back to what you were saying is like in marriage, in friendships, in any relationship, even with your relationship with God, the only way to grow is to be trimmed. The only way to grow is to be chastised. The only way to be better is to be told you're doing this wrong.
Yeah, exactly. and I think also it's also important to have friends in your life to tell you that. I think what you said about relationships is so true. If you don't have I'm gonna be honest, like if you don't have friends who can tell you like, hey, you know what, you're screwing up, or always so encouraging in every aspect, always like it's good to have side note, it's good to have encouraging friends. Don't get it twisted. I think you should definitely have friends who encourage you or to like show you about who you are. But I also think that it's important to have friends who self-correct, who don't look at you and is afraid to tell you like, hey, listen, I think you're wrong in this area. And still can be your friend. I think that and I mean this, a lot of Christians miss the mark on being real with people is we're afraid to say, hey, I don't think you're right in this. Because then it becomes quote unquote an awkward conversation. It becomes, does this person think about me this way? Or when it's like, it's not that deep. I've just said, seriously, it's like, it's not that deep.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I love you as my brother and sister. I'm just saying what you said here.
I think you off, cuz.
Exactly. What you said here, or what you did here, I think you're wrong, and this is why. Now, if we can talk about it, and we can discuss it.
Like how many times have you and Danny heard me just completely call something out, and you're like, okay, we came across a little harsh, but you're making a good point. I'm like, okay, I got to work on being less of an you know what in my feedback sometimes. My wife tells me the same thing, but it's okay to call us out.
Yeah, I mean, that's life. That is what. I think as brothers and sisters, we're supposed to be able to do. The issue now, it's a fine line because then you tell people like to call people out, and then they take it so far like you can't be friends with that person because they're rude or whatever. And I'm just like, look, guys, it's not that deep in the sense of, it's not that complicated. God calls us to love each other. God calls us to be with each other, right? Out of love, self-correction is important. Out of love, disagreements are important.
Yeah.
Because God made us all differently, and there's roles that require us to think differently.
It's actually funny. In the beginning of Kent and I's marriage, we always discussed alignment, but the thing is, like, in my mind, there was a difference between overall alignment and temporary disagreement, where like she may make a point about something, and I'll say, okay, we're aligned on this outcome, but I disagree with this method right now.
Yeah.
Or with her mindset on something. Cool. I'll still respect it and we'll still go forward with it to test it, but I can still disagree with it. And in the beginning, she would say something like, we can't be in disagreement. No, we can disagree about something. We just can't be misaligned on the outcome.
Yes.
Like, the outcome is still this.
Exactly. No, that is a very important part. We should all be going towards the same. We all have the same goal, to be more like Christ, right? To be more like Christ, to be successful in His will of what He wants us to do. Yeah. But what that looks like can all be different, and sometimes, God, as long as our alignment may be the same, but the way I don't know how I'm trying to say this, the way we think about how to get there or what the details are may be different, and that's okay.
Yeah. Like, here's something that I've had controversy about in the past. I probably still will forever, but I stand by this. When we think about disciplining people, or like not people, but like our kids, for example, or people receiving consequences, we think that in some cases consequences have to be harsh. There has to be some harshness behind, depending how many times the same mistake happens. There's, in my mind, when people say like consequences, discipline, like being a bit more stern or strict, there's a clear difference biblically between how God handles people. Because if you look scripturally, yes, people proclaim that God is also a wrathful God. Correct. Not to His children. When it's about discipline, He is graceful in discipline. He explains why something is wrong. He allows you to experience the consequence and is ready for you with open arms to come right into Him to get correction, to get help. Yeah. What we mistake, that I stand behind, is we don't do that in most cases with kids. They make a mistake, it's natural to get loud, it's natural to get frustrated, you get angry with them. That's not biblical. Because God doesn't get angry with His kids. He shows His wrath to non-believers. But we've taken that to say, if God is angry, He's an angry God. Yes, not to you, and you better be thankful for that.
Yeah.
He gives grace and discipline to His children. He chastises His children. Yes, chastising is not anger. Chastising is a controlled consequence. So when we as parents give our, like for example, when Ken and I discipline our kids, I do have my moments where multiple things happen at once that frustrate me, and that gets through to my voice with the kids. I quickly go back to them and say, hey guys, your action wasn't okay, but my vocal tone to you also wasn't okay. Yeah. Let's find the corrective way to do this so we can move forward. I'll quickly go back to my kids, even if they're 4 and 2 years old, and tell them why what I did wasn't right. But it is never right for us to show our kids anger in the consequence, because God never shows us anger anywhere in the Word.
Yes.
He shows a controlled consequence and is ready with open arms, which is why the Word always says that He's ready for us to come to Him. And yet, how many kids do you know that are scared to go to their parents?
Me. I was initially. I was.
Most parents don't get this. Most of them don't. There's been 2 pastors in my life that gave me graceful consequences where I was actually excited to go to them and get their help with something because I know I messed up. And I was looking forward to their feedback. Most kids are scared of their own parents. And there's a difference between a fear of parents and being scared to tell them something.
Yeah, there's a big difference, and I think that's the I know we got to go soon, but I think there's a beautiful thing in that. God is a parent who is the originator of grace. He's a parent who doesn't look at you and sees your flaws. He doesn't look at you and wants stuff correct simply because he doesn't like what you did. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. He hates sin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, like, he hates sin, but his love for us is greater than his hate for sin. Thank God.
See, the funny thing to me is that this is totally random, but I've always he created the word sin. Like he defined the word. So like
that's true.
He created the word, and he even created the word hate. Yeah. So like the fact that he created a word to show his despisement for something, don't get it twisted.
Yeah. No, I mean yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
He freaking created a word to describe his sheer distaste for something.
That is so true. That's crazy.
It's such a weird thought to have. Like,
that's a very.
We say God hates sin. Yeah. Do you realize he despises it so much he created a word to describe his distaste?
Yeah. No, that's see, this could be a circle. That's a horrible. But point is like to leave out with what it means to be successful in this walk with him, and not just his walk, but just in every area of your life, is to remember how good of a father he is, in the sense of he's not there to condemn you on what you haven't done. He's there to help correct you on what he knows you can do and what's better for your life. And that correction, I like the importance. One of the beautiful things that I know God is, God sees each of us as so important, but he doesn't see us as more important as any other person. What's beautiful about you trusting in God and knowing him is that you get to also do the work and be a part of someone else's life based on what you're doing. Yeah. And I think that's why we have to value how important it is. What you're doing isn't just for you. You following Christ, right, and doing what he's supposed to do isn't just for you. It's for your wife. Yeah. It's for Judah and your children. You know what I'm saying? It's for the people that see you. It's for the random stranger who was having a bad day. So what you did when you had a bad day, and it's like, maybe trust this God thing. Maybe this could help my life. Like, it's not for you. Yeah. And there's such a value in that, because that should empower us to be close to God, to prepare us to know what we're supposed to do in life.
And we can keep this in mind, like the Bible is the exact example of that. Like,
exactly.
The Holy Spirit gave the writers of the Word things to write down. Had they not done that, you can go down the rabbit hole of, would we have the Word today? Yeah. I'm sure God would have found some way to create it for us and give it to us, but he gave those words to somebody to write about to then give to us so we can now read about it. Exactly. Would they not have written down what the Holy Spirit was telling them? Who knows what that would look like nowadays? Yeah. How that would have come together.
I mean, even the actions of the people in the Bible. Like, if you look at it, like I none of them knew, like, oh, this action is gonna be known for like thousands. You know, like, okay, like if Peter could look back, he probably was like, man, if I knew that every single person would know, like, okay, I said this to Jesus when I was like, all right, look, I got it figured out later on, but man, that's hard to hear every single time.
Up from heaven, like, guys, I get it.
It's like, for the trillionth time, I have to hear this again.
He's probably talking to God, like, when will they stop?
You know what's funny? It's probably like if we didn't have, like, I don't even, of course I'm not gonna know how this looks, but I just think it'd be funny to have this conversation and be like, hey, yo, how many people has asked you about the circumstance of, like, yo, so what were you thinking when you said this? I want to know what you were feeling when you said this to Christ. Like, what, and how did you feel when he said, get behind me? Let me know. Like, I just want to know, because he's like, I mean, I've talked to somebody that is, I think, you're the 300 trillion person.
See, you're going up here, I'm going straight down.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh.
Like, what gives?
Oh my gosh. Who would I want to meet?
Like, so about that fruit.
Like, after Jesus, I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's so many conversations. Oh my goodness.
We have eternity with God.
With
him now. Like, okay,
my questions to him.
I still probably have a bazillion questions for him.
Yeah, my questions.
I'm beelining for Adam. Like, bro, like what gives? Like, what
exactly. Like, talk to me about it. Like, what? Like, talk to me. Like, we're here now.
Have a therapy session.
Exactly. I gotta know. I gotta know. This is, and he was like, it was all God's will. Like, yeah. But
besides that, like, which does not have been the actual plan after all. What gives?
Exactly. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, simply put, like, just to, because I know the store's gonna be shutting down here in just a little bit. Like, hopefully, with the 20 different directions that we went today, y'all at least got something out of today. Yeah. And just a very simple recap. Like, again, for those who maybe weren't aware, you'll find this on our YouTube channel. We're working on my priority goal is for everything here to be uploaded to Spotify and Apple Music by end of next month, by February, so we can officially be on those platforms as well. Again, if you're trying to get more plugged in, we do have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have TikTok. Like, just get in touch with us. You can reach out to Spencer at 3dleadershipconsulting.com if you want to get more plugged in from the community side of things. And for those of you who are wondering when the next recording is, as the banner beautifully says, we will be live here again, same time next month, the last Saturday of every single month, right here in Mount Christian Gifts. So until then, be safe with the storm coming in today.
Yeah.
Hope you guys have an amazing rest of the month, since it's like 2 days left, technically speaking.
Yeah.
And we will catch you guys here in February.
Amen. See you guys.
We out.